Hey everyone, it's Kathy from To Die House. Today's Saturday, January 26th. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. I can't believe January is almost over already. Next week. It's been about a month since I've done a video. So if you've subscribed, I want to welcome you back and say it's nice to see you again. And if you're new here, welcome in. And it's nice to see you and meet you too. My printer broke. I don't know what's wrong with it. So I'm winging it today. I usually have just like notes and a little like sketched out agenda. And I had it on my computer with, you know, people that I've watched, and I went to go print it and it's like the pages come out. It pretends like it's printing, but the page is blank. So I'll be doing some diagnostics on that a little later. But I did want to, just from memory, try to share with you some of the people that I've been watching. These are the people in your neighborhood. It's a guy going up the street on a bike in the cold weather. I've been watching, I think it's Stitching in the Barn. And see, now it's escaping me because I was looking at it on my computer, which is in another room. Stitching in the Barn. Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. Olivia. I'll link them below, plus the ones that I've been watching but I can't remember. And here comes my boy because I'm talking to you and he thinks I'm talking to him. We'll see. We'll see what happens. He's already. All right, buddy. You need to come over. Come over. That spot. I'll clear a spot for you. This place is such a mess. It's organization day. We're going to put together. Oh. The battle has been lost. The battle for the old beadboard pantry that's in the garage. It's been lost. I mean, we still have it. We're just going to use it as storage in the garage, but once I got my cutting table in here in my craft room, which is where we are today, the amount of space back here, which is where I was going to put it, shrunk dramatically. And the thing, I think I mentioned it in my prior videos, it's just this big pantry cabinet that was in my boyfriend's old house basement. And the thing is probably from the 1930s maybe. And I loved it, but I couldn't, there's just not enough room in here. The footprint of that is too big. So I bought one of those white cube storage things with the little baskets that you stick in. So we're putting that together today. And that's going to go in here. And then the organization party begins. It's like every time I walk in here, I want it to be my happy place, but it's filling up and it's not organized. So I need to get that going. Plus I have shelves that I'm going to put up, and I have like, I have one right here. I got these in Kohl's, these little like, you know, bulletin board type of things. I have 3 of them. So I'm going to hang those up where I can stick things on them. And so yeah, so it's just like, it's time to get it together. Been procrastinating long enough. Time to get it going. So my boyfriend's going to help me get that cube thing together today, and I'm going to spend the day organizing. Okay, enough rambling. Goings on. That's it. I'm organizing. Oh, I bought my buffalo check shirt. I got to tell you, Priscilla and Chelsea have been in like, I'm starting a collection now of flannel shirts for winter, and I got this buffalo check one because I thought if eventually like the elbows wear out, then I can cut it up and use it as backing fabric. So now I'm making my clothing purchases based on whether I can use them in the future as backing fabric for something. That's how I'm thinking these days. Okay, sorry, got an itchy nose today. Okay, so I'm gonna go right into whips. I've been doing some stitching. I've been doing a lot of stitching actually. Not every day, but I've been getting some stuff done. So the first one is something that I had in my stash for a while. And it is, I collected all of them. I gathered them. I had all the fabric. I had the floss. I had everything ready to go. But it was just sitting there. And I love it. It's so pretty. It's the A Moment in Chalk. This was a collaboration between Hands On Design, Kathy Haberman, and Just Another Button Company. So I have that, and then I have all the months. So I'm currently working on January. I have a story for that in a moment. But this is where I'm at. It's much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's 32 count fabric, and I typically work on 36 count. So I hope this shows up okay. So I got the center motif completed. And I started the squares. And I had January completely in this square. And when I got to the, you can see I still have a couple of like threads that I need to pick out. Last night I was almost done. I was like, I'm going to finish this and I'll have it as like a really nice finish for my video tomorrow. And then when I got up to the end on the one side, I had like, I was 8 spaces or 8 threads in from this side, but I was only 2 threads in on that side. It was like wonky. It was off. So then I went back and checked my center. And I must have miscounted. So I stitched almost that whole entire square. And it was only until I got to the very end that I realized it was off center. And you know, the perfectionist in me immediately was like, well, tear it all out and do it all over again. And then the other side of me was like, does it really look that bad? It did. So I spent a couple of hours on, look. Threads everywhere. I spent a couple of hours last night tearing that out, and I'm going to start that square again. But I did get the middle finished, so I'm off to a good start. One of the things, these all these designs come with really cute buttons from Just Another Button Company. And see how it shows up. Now I haven't put the buttons on. I probably, if I decide to use them, I won't put them on until the very end. But I'm not sure. I've seen pictures of this online where people just did the stitching and didn't use the buttons at all. What do you think? I kind of like it a lot without the buttons. I don't know if the buttons they're very cute, but I don't know if I want it cutified. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to get all the stitching done, worry about that decision later, but it's something that's on my mind. Anyway, and then this is the January one. And you can see, like, oh, this is a good example. So you can see in the corner, they didn't put the buttons on. So did they really just intend the buttons to be, if you finished each one individually on the tray? I don't know. I kind of like it without buttons on it. Maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll stitch the whole thing without buttons and then I'll do individual ones. Actually, it'd be kind of cute to do that as like a little gift for somebody for their birth month, right? So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Stay tuned. Okay. So that's the deal with this guy. So that's my first start of 2019. Work in process. It's a whip as well. The second one that I started was, I had, and again, I purchased these a long time ago. They've been sitting around waiting for me to get to them. They're Little House Needleworks. They're these, they're just these little tiny patterns. And I've seen other people now recently doing them as well. So I started January. And then brilliant me. Oh, man. doing them 1/1 on 32 count. And you would say, how is that so tragic? It is bitty. It is so teeny. And you can see I had to, oh, these are Snowflakes. It's kind of hard to see them. Maybe that might, nope. So I am doing that 1/1. And the plan for these is I found these tags in Michael's, and it's to finish them on these tags. Finish them and then put, like, I don't know, like I have a bunch of like scrapbooking paper, so I thought if I covered them with scrapbook paper and then, you know, did like a little, just a flat mount on that, and then put a little zhuzh, persilify them a little bit with some picks or whatever at the top, and then hang them from this so I can just change them out every month. That's the plan. But man, this bad boy is tiny. Although they're not really big, so my theory is that even though they're really tiny and a little bit intensive to work on, because they're smaller, they're not like overwhelming. So that's my intention for that. So I started those. And I actually, probably, oh gosh, probably 10 years ago or more, I bought a bunch on, I can't remember where I got them from. Maybe it was a shop that had just a bunch of these like little scraps. And they're all 32 count. Different color linens, but they're, you know, they're smaller pieces, so obviously you can only do so much with them. And I just happened to have, like, I went through, and as I was looking at the different patterns for each month, I was like, oh well, this will look good on that, you know, this color, and blah blah blah. So as it turns out, I have enough fabric in my stash to do all of them, and they'll all look individual and different and pretty, like it's like a chartreuse green and a blue and a pink. So yeah, so as I'm going through, each one will be on a little bit of a different fabric, and that's the point of that. I'm out of practice. Can you get back into a routine of doing it for every couple weeks, because if I do it every month I get so out of practice, it takes me a while to get my groove back on. So need to get back into the swang of things. All right. Now, my next whip, also a new start. Andy from Nana's Needles and I are doing this together. We met each other in person at the Primitive Hair Retreat in Sturbridge, and she's so lovely. Just a really nice person. And I noticed a couple of other people are doing this one as well this year, so it's really nice. It's the Harbor Haven series, which I was showing you last year as I was receiving them when they were on auto ship. So that's the final, the full length, and chart number 12. Now she's Andy is starting with 1, and she's, you know, doing them in order up to 12. I started with 12, and because it's easier for me for some reason when I'm stitching and I'm holding it like this, it's easier for me to work to right to left. So so I'm starting with 12 and I'm going backwards. So at some point we'll meet in the middle, which is going to be really neat. We'll be both be working on the same one at the same time. She's already done hers. I was a slacker. It took me a couple of weeks to get started. That's where I'm at. And you know, this is one of the digital charts, but that's the picture of the chart. And this is my Sunday stitch. So on Sundays, I spend the whole day. All my stitching time is devoted to this. And I didn't start this. I started this like 2 weeks ago. So that's my progress for 2 weeks. And I'm stitching this. The fabric is 36 count Pacific Waters. Peaceful Water from Silk Weaver. And because the chart is so long, you can see it's going to be a long one. I needed to get a yard of fabric of this. So I have a ton of fabric left over, which is fine. Here's the rest of the fabric. Did I give you the right name? Silk Weaver 36 count Edinburgh Peaceful Waters. Yep. They dyed this. I called them. I was there for a meetup a couple weeks ago, and they had it waiting for me when I got there. So now I have all this fabric left, but this color is so beautiful. And I know it looks kind of washed out here. Maybe if I block the light a little bit. But it's like the perfect like sky blue with a little bit of a green undertone. And hi. Yes, I know. I love it too. So it's the perfect color, and I love stitching on it. I really am enjoying working on this one, and I love that it's my Sunday stitch. You know, I'm really loving it. So I'm so happy Andy asked me if I wanted to do that with her, and you know, if we wanted to. And every once in a while we just send each other a text with photos, and I guess I should start posting it on Instagram. And also, someone was asking me at the meetup about, we were talking about how you record, and I had mentioned this before, how you record what you use for each chart. And God, this is probably my second or third video, and we're on number 12 now. But I mentioned you can get these on Amazon. They're book cards, library cards, and they come with an envelope, and I think you get like 150 of them in a pack. And so you can just, the card slides in the envelope. It's got an adhesive backing. So when I get this framed, and this will be framed, I can just off the backing and stick it on the back of the frame. So I always have the information with the chart, or, you know, with the piece. And then the other thing I started to do was I started to sign the back of my pieces with the date. The date that I'm signing them, not the date that I finished them, because I have so many older finishes where I didn't do that, and I don't remember when I finished them. So that's my third whip. And like I said, I'm loving that. I'm really loving that. It's my Sunday stitch. This is not a whip yet, but I am starting this today, so it'll be a whip by the end of day, because spring is coming. And I gotta stop hitting the table. Spring is coming, and I need to get this done, because I need to get this framed so that when it arrives, my spring ABCs will be ready to go. And I have it all kitted up. It's all ready. It's been kitted up for a while. But I'm going to start this today. I found that for some reason with these charts, with the ABC series, I just crank right through them. So I'm like, I should be able to get that done by the end of February. That's a goal. Okay. All right, so that is it for whips, news, starts, and goals. Well, it's not it for goals. You should see my basket of goals. It's huge. I've been talking about in my last few videos about organizing, trying to reduce my stash. Been doing a really good job of going through my stash and pulling out things that I'm either going to take with me to put on freebie tables, or maybe sell a few on Stash Unload, or pass the stash. And And let me just say, my whole thing about reducing my purchases, epic fail. Epic fail. Part of it was because I got a lot of gift cards for Christmas. And I went through my wish lists. I pared them down. And then bought everything else, just about. With my gift cards, with my Christmas money. So, I had to say to myself, okay, it's like dieting for me. Just because you have a bad day and eat the bowl of ice cream doesn't mean you can't pick it up again tomorrow. So, that's where I'm at. I'll show you what I got. Oh, before I do that, this is not part of my purchases. This is something I've had in my stash for a while, but somebody asked me about this. I showed this in, it was my Christmas video, I think. I had made this Celtic Ornament cross stitch. It's not fully finished, but I'd made it. And somebody was asking me about what chart it was, and it's this chart. The name of the company is Celtic Charted Designs Company, Spinhoven. I believe it's an Irish company. And I went out online to see if I could find it, and it doesn't look like it's available anymore, but if you happen to be able to find it, it's called a Celtic Ornament. Again, that's the picture. So for the person who asked me that question, that's this chart. Okay. Purchases. Like I said, I cleared out my wish list. I had the gift cards to do it, and I did it. And I think maybe, well, I'm not even going to try and rationalize it. I just wanted it, and I bought it. Let's face it. I had no self-control. That's the reason. Okay. Tiny Modernist, Echinacea Biscornu. Thought it was really, really cute. I have another one that's similar to this, but I'm really into the Biscornu charts right now. And I thought this was so adorable. Mushroom Biscornu, also Tiny Modernist. Isn't that really cute? I think that's a quail on there. Really adorable. Okay. I'm in spring mode. So I purchased Little House Needleworks Rabbit Hill. And I'll do it from back here. It comes with the floss. So it's one of those charts where you buy the floss and the chart is free with the purchase of the floss. And it's springy and it's cute. I had to get this guy. I thought he was really cute. The hands-on design. Ready, set, snow. We haven't had a lot of snow here. We had a big storm in November. And we had like a couple of inches, and then it got really cold and icy, like over that. So the snow was staying, but you could see like the tips of the grass in the snow. And then we had like a 58-degree day, you know, the January thaw, and it all just melted. And then it rained on top of that. So, so we're back to green grass again. No. Which, no, I love hibernating. I love hibernating. Hibernating and stitching. This I purchased. My aunt, the one who taught me to cross stitch, she likes the whole moose rustic lodge thing, and she's got that in her house. And I wanted to do this for her as a Christmas gift, but everywhere I went, it was sold out. So I'm actually ahead of the game this year, and I picked it up, the little Mary Moose, so I can do this and have her Christmas gift done. And I finished this for her, and I have like a tin full of charms and buttons, and so I'm just gonna put charms. So I already have like a near finish for Christmas, and it's January, head of the game. So she's getting moose stuff. I hope she doesn't watch this. I don't think she does. This, again, I wanted this everywhere I went. I was going to put this on our tree. It was sold out. The rain dog. And our dog is white with brown spots. So, what I'm going to do, though, I think, because we have a girl dog, or Daphne is a girl, so I think I'm going to use like pastel green and like a pink sweater, and then I'll make the antlers like maybe like a really light brown. So then Daphne dog will have an ornament for the tree in 2019. But I wanted to do this and put it up on the tree, but I couldn't find it. And then I just thought this was cute, like the cardinals. Cardinal egg. And if you saw my tree video, you know that I have glass eggs on my tree. So I thought that was kind of a nice little touch. Okay. I did pick up Artful Offerings. I've seen this everywhere. Michelle Rudy Farm Girl and the whole crew have been stitching this, and I avoided it. I mean, I was like, yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty. Will I ever stitch it? And then I saw somebody finish it in such a way that I was like, I have to have that in my house at Christmas time. Horse Country Holiday. But I also think I'm going to do, I saw a conversion that it's a little more prim in color. So I'm going to do that conversion and change it. This was actually a Christmas gift, I think. Was it? I don't know. I could sit here all day and think about where these things came from. Use what talents you possess. I'm really loving All Through the Night. I have a number of their designs now. They're easy to stitch. And isn't that pretty? The birds and the trees, the rose bushes. Actually, it looks like rose bushes. And it says, use what talents you possess. The woods would be silent if no birds sang. I don't have my reading glasses. Sorry. Use what talents you possess. The woods would be silent if no birds sang there except those that sang best. That's a really nice sentiment. Oh, had to have this. This little sweetheart pocket from Blackbird. I think it's so beautiful. I might actually do this. I have a couple of retreats coming up this year. I might do this as a small. And one of the reasons I'm sort of inspired to do that is because of the small that I received at the New Jersey retreat last year. It was a pocket, and I love it so much. It's so beautiful. So I sort of feel like now I want to do those for other people too. And hope that they love them as much as I do. The drum series. Grown with the Love. Comes with the velveteen. Pretty. These two, again, I wanted to do them around Christmas time. Let's be real. I wanted to do them around Christmas time. I was doing so many other things. I mean, yeah, I had like that whole work situation going on. But I wouldn't have stitched. I had a million other Christmas things going on, stitchy-wise. I never would have done it. But I'm hoping to do it this year. Because apparently, I'm a glutton for punishment. It's Madame Chantilly. Santa and the dog. Now, I'm going to do that dog, but I'm going to change her spot to brown and her ears to brown like my Daphne. And Santa and the cat. And I'm going to... I have two cats, Daisy and Orion. Orion's my boy that you see very often. Daisy hangs out in the basement pretty much, and like in the man cave. And she's happy down there. You might see her once in a while, but rarely. So my first thought was like, well, I have to do this twice, Santa and Orion, and then Santa and Daisy. And then, like, I was drifting off to sleep one night. The thoughts that go through your head. I was like, just do one Santa and do 2 cats. Then you're not doing Santa. Right? And it does come with like the other cat design. So if you have an orange kitty, you can do that one. And I'm going to have to darken this up a little bit, and because Daisy and Orion have very similar markings, so I'm going to do this cat because it's got the tabby markings. They're both kind of tabbies, but then like Daisy's got a white hind quarter here, so I'll just do white, and so I'll try to like differentiate them, one for Daisy and one for Orion. That's the plan. I ordered this. This has been sitting in my cart, out of my cart, in my cart, out of my cart. I got this from Needle Case Goodies. This whale has been like haunting me for months. And then I saw that anchor with the rose and I was like, oh, that's so pretty. So I finally just bit the bullet because I had the Christmas money to do it. And we're doing in our bathroom, when we remodel our master bath, and let me tell you what, it needs to be remodeled. The people who built this house put a black sink, a black bathtub, and a black toilet in that bathroom. It's got lighthouses and things in there. It's horrible to keep clean. I mean, never mind like toothpaste and soap, but even if you just run the water, it spots. I mean, we live up the mountain. We have well water here. My boyfriend loves it. I hate it. I call it the black hole. But the other day he said to me, man, that sink is dirty. And I said, yeah, I just cleaned it. And he's like, I think he's coming around to the white sink side of the world. I hope he is. So the plan to do in that bathroom is to, when we remodel it, is to put like gray in there. Gray, like a gray floor, like the wood tile floors. But I want to do, from a decorative perspective, I want to do like historic tales of the sea, like Old Man in the Sea and Moby Dick, and so that's kind of where I'm going with this. Woo! That was the long way around. And then I did pick up Plum Street. Goodbye Fall. Okay. At the meetup at Needleworkers Delight a couple weeks ago, I picked up the Valentine Simpler. I think I got this at Needleworkers Delight. Did I? Maybe I got a Stash and Load. Maybe. Love it. Love it. And it is a Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle. Maybe I got it from Needle Case Goodies. Maybe I got it from the country. Oh my God, I need to start writing stuff down. Although it doesn't help to write it down if my printer doesn't work. Anyway, isn't that pretty? I really want to do the little heart and the fobs. Like, I just think they're so, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. This I did get from Stash and Load. It's a Little House Needleworks Moonlight. I love that. It reminds me of life up here on the mountain at night. Secret Santa's down off, in front of the mantle. So, Darren took some pictures of the moon. He has them framed and everything. And so we put a picture of the moon above the mantle for now, until, I'm gonna go down another rabbit hole. This is why I need to do videos more often, so that I'm not like every thought in my head for the last 4 weeks is coming out. Okay, another rabbit hole. Darren's mother gave him this big picture. So I said she was cleaning out her house. Big picture. It's got a painted sail, like a tall mast sail ship on it, and this frame that's like this wide and gold and da-da-da. His grandfather had painted it, and it's beautiful, and it's going to go above the mantle when, with the exception of Christmas, when Santa will be there. But it needs to be restored, like the paper on the back is good. So we're trying to find somebody who can restore it and restore the frame without damaging it. And then once we get that done, that'll go above the mantle. But in the meantime, we have the picture of the moon. And there were sconces on either side. And when we moved in, we had the sconces taken down and there are plates on either side. And you probably saw them in my other videos. Those plates bother me, man, because I was like, patch the wall with drywall. They put plates on it, I guess, just for speed and sake of ease or whatever. So I need something to go over those plates. So this is going to go on one side. I need to find something for the other side. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, I guess. People say, stop apologizing. But I just feel like I haven't talked to you all in so long. And, you know, like all this stuff. Whoosh. Okay, onward. And also the Plum Street. This is the final. From what I understand, this is the final in this series. Ravens and Deers, the Noah's Ark ornaments. I did get, this is just part of my auto ship, Letters from Mom, March. Kindness Speaks. Love it. Look at that rabbit. So pretty. There's that Needleworker's Delight. And yeah, they have these kits. They have these kits and I have Christmas money, right? So plum pudding. Comes all kitted up with everything you need. And let me tell you what, they had this stitched over one and then finished in like cube. It was beautiful. Practically jumped on it when I saw it. The Summer Beaming Forth Blackbird. I really liked it. It's funny because some of these I see and I'm like, I just kind of pass by them. And then others I see and I just, whoosh. This was obviously one that drew me in. I did get the hands-on design, Winter Wonderland. I'm definitely going to do the small one. This is a little too busy altogether in one piece for me. But, and I really like that Priscilla and Chelsea suggest these types of things. The barn in one motif, I could do. Like, I could do that. It's so pretty with the trees. And the little truck I could do in one motif. And the little snowman. The snowman with the pigs, I think, was what was like my final deciding factor. Because I was like, how often do you see a snowman and pigs in the chart? Have to have that. And then I've been collecting this series, Fun and Fancy Free, Summer House Stitchworks. I did have parts 1 and part 2, so I wanted to make sure I completed that series. So pretty. I really love her designs. Everybody picked up this one. Everybody I know. And Kathy Barrick, Dear Santa. Now, going back to the moon and the Santa on the mantle thing, right? This is the best of all worlds. It's got the moon and the Santa. It could be part of our Christmas display up on the mantle. I don't know though, because that Santa is so spectacular. I don't want to put really too much, anything too busy next to it because I think it would detract from it. I've been eyeing this for a long time, Quaker Virtues, and I finally picked it up. And I love that it says, you know, community, simplicity, equality, integrity, harmony, and I live in Harmony, New Jersey, so I usually hashtag things on Instagram with Harmony House because that's what I call my house now, is Harmony House. So I just thought it was very beautiful. I really do want to kind of get to this one this year. And then these I got on Stash and Load. I thought they were really cute. RETM, and I don't think she's print. I think her stuff is kind of out of print, so I kind of jumped on them. Gobble Gob. Oh wait, Gobble Gob is the stacks from Plum Street. A gobble couple. So they're like little patriotic turkeys. This one I definitely want to do this year. I think it should be pretty easy too. Harvest time. Isn't that pretty? The Quaker pumpkins. Very pretty. Loved this one. Again, I was thinking fireplace mantle, Christmas time. Snowy Christmas, Quaker style. Isn't that cute? Love it. And I have a fabric this color already. When I went to the meetup, my friend Lynn, who I was so happy to see her. I hadn't seen her since the New Jersey retreat last year. She gave me this magazine, Cross Stitch Gold. And you know what? I had been kind of like looking online, but I didn't have a really good understanding or idea of what was inside, and I didn't know if I wanted to buy it. But I do love my birds. So I'm definitely going to do that. I think that's so pretty. And I get Just Cross Stitch magazine, and I get Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazines, but you know, I've been getting these like offerings in the mail and stuff, and I've been really good about like, nope, I don't need any more magazines, no more magazines. And but when I saw that, and on the cover it had the birds, and I was looking at those birds, so when she gave it to me, I was thrilled. I also wanted to mention a couple of charts by Arlene Cohen. She had done a video recently that she was going through her new releases, and she's part of the stitching meetup group that gets together at Needleworkers Delight. And if you don't watch Arlene, you should. She's exceptionally talented, and she's a beautiful designer, and her lace work is just unbelievable. But these are a couple of her new releases that I picked up, and one of them, I'm like, it's amazing to me. And then I know she had like sent it to a couple of her closest stitchy friends to have them sort of work on it and give her feedback. But this is the first one. I'm probably going to do this in the near future. What Lies Within Us. Such a pretty chart, and you can really change out the colors and make it your own. And it says, what lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. And I just think that's a really nice, a really sweet sentiment. And something that I think that we all forget, but maybe need a little reminder of once in a while. So that's Works by ABC, is her Etsy shop. Isn't that pretty? And she designed it in such a way that it'll fit into an 8x10 frame easily. So I love it when designers put that kind of thought into it, like how you know, what's the easiest way for them to finish it. So you can make it into a pillow, you could frame it, whatever you want to do. And then the other one, and I saw it and I was like, The Death of Susanna Jane, a headstone reproduction. Isn't that phenomenal? Look at that. Amazing. I'm going to do this exactly as it's called for, I think. I think it's just really, really cool looking. This is an actual, I mean, it is. It's a headstone. Go watch her video, her most recent video, which was maybe like a week ago or less. But she goes into like these books that she found that had these pictures of headstones. It was so neat. And I just I love that she took an actual headstone and created a cross stitch chart of it. I just think that is just phenomenal. And I know, like, I think McKenna from Stitching in Sequins is working on it. I think Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett, I know she's working on it. I was watching her stitch with me the other day and she was working on it. Diana, It Is Kismet Stitches, I think, is doing it. So these were kind of like her, you know, this is her close group of friends, and she sent that out to them first so that they could give her feedback and try different things and tell her what was working and what wasn't working, and I think they're all doing it a little differently. So, like I know Michelle Garrett from Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett, she's using Victorian motto threads on hers. I think McKenna's using the called for. I don't know how Diane's doing hers. But and then I watched McKenna's video and she was showing her progress on it. So again, that's if you're interested, The Death of Susanna Jane. Really just, it has a poem at the bottom. Love it. Love it. Okay. A Stitcher's Blessing I picked up. Erica Michaels. This was a stash unload. That I can stitch and be happy while I am stitching is a great blessing. And isn't that true? I picked this up on Stash and Load. I'll just show it to you. I have a number of these designs. The holiday airing, the quilts. Isn't that beautiful? Now, these quilts are based on the artwork of Diane Phelan. My mom was friends with Diane Phelan. So whenever I see her artwork, it just jumps right out at me. But I just thought that was so beautiful. And like I said, I do have, on the back it shows some other ones. I do have, I think I have this one. I know I have this one. And I believe I have this one as well. Boy, these charts are oldies, man. When's the copyright on this bad boy? Doesn't really say. Do 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 do. Where's the copyright? Do 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 do. Don't know. But yeah. And then this is, I don't know why I needed this, but I did. It speaks to my sassy side, I think, and my saucy side. I got this on Stash Unload, and people were like, "Oh, you're gonna love it! There's some great stuff in there." Oh, the plain brown wrapper, and it's a booklet of charts, which I cannot show you because they're charts. But it's got all these kind of like saucy sayings in it. And those who sow wild oats had best hope for crop failure. When angry, count 4. When very angry, swear. Which, you know, you guys see my mild side on these videos, but and I get pissed off, man. Like, it's, the 4-letter words fly. So, never go wrong when people are looking. You can't stay cross while you're stitching, go grab that needle and quit your bitching. Probably need to do that. That one. And then there are a little more saucy ones here, but I'm going to try and keep it at least PG. This says PG-13, I think it says. Yeah, counter cross stitch is rated PG. I would say even some of them are a little PG-13. Okay. Last but not least, well, two more things. I did receive my coloring cotton fabric, and it's like this pretty purple. Crinkle, crinkle. Why am I singing? I've never sung in a video before. Or have I? So it's like this pretty, it's like a purpley color. Very beautiful. And my flosses. You want to see them? I'm already like 45 minutes in. Why not make it even longer? So let's see. Ooh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Purple geranium. Showing pretty true. Luau. Also like a pink and orange. See if I can find a piece of papel. There we go. There's the geranium. And this one is Hunter. Hunter, I would have expected that to be more of like a forest green. But it's more of like a seafoam green, blue. But it's pretty, very pretty. Actually, this would be really nice in that spring ABCs, wouldn't it? So pretty. Sea spray. Look at that. That's pretty accurate too. It's showing that nice variegation. Raw linen. White on white, baby. This would probably be better on my shirt. So yeah, it's pretty white. Little cream, a little cream variegation in there, but also kind of like almost like a very pale mint undertone to it, or maybe it's just the green walls and the lighting in here. Could be. So there's that, and then this is just part of my Stitching Circle Club. You know how I love when shops send you things that are presented beautifully. Look at that tissue paper. I'm hanging on to that. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I feel like I'm going to decoupage or Mod Podge that onto something because I think it's adorable. So my mama said that. Gently, gently. So this iteration of the silver needles, a little help from our friends Stitching Circle, is Summer House Stitchworks. Now here's a photo of what it looks like finished. Isn't that beautiful? And they send you jelly bellies to keep your energy up while you're stitching. So that's the photo. Here's the photo on the chart, which like it just gets better and better. And it says Forever Friends across the banner. Isn't that beautiful? But then, like, oh. It's a corner gauge. Look at that corner gauge. That has like the stitching print on it. Oh, this stuff just like, oh, it's an, oh. Can we just do my hair? Okay. Mega haul section, right? It's done. Back on the wagon. I had the Christmas money excuse going and blah, 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 blah. But back on the wagon until market. And then all bets are off for market. I'm starting to look at the sneak peeks of stuff. I have to say, I'm doing really well. Like, I think last year when I saw the sneak peeks, I was like, that. You know, I was like, whoosh. But this year I'm like, very pretty. I'll never stitch it. Very pretty. I'll never stitch it. I know what's going to happen, though, when Blackbird stuff comes out. I'm going to, like, have one of everything. And I'm seeing some new designers that are going to market. And I'm like, so I decided market's in March and my birthday's in March. So if I compare birthday money with market, then I can justify it in my head. Not that it's a valid justification, but I need to rationalize it somehow. Then after that, I have a basket full of stars, or a basket full of plans. One of my plans for this year is, oh! I don't know where I put it. This might be it. This is not it. I may have already put it with the chart. I'm going to start Yellow Submarine from Blackbird. So this year, I'm wanting to do the entire Magical Mystery Tour series. And I looked at the charts. They're not ginormous. I think the largest one is Strawberry Fields. Eleanor Rigby's pretty cut and dry. It's all one color. It's all black. Octopus's Garden looks it's a little bigger. But I'm starting with Yellow Submarine. So I'm doing Yellow Submarine, Octopus's Garden, Strawberry Fields, Eleanor Rigby. There are a couple more. Anyway, I have the entire series. I'm doing the entire series this year. No doubt. I've had them in my stash for a long time. And every time I look at them, I'm like, oh, I love them so much. I love the Beatles. I love Blackbird. It's like the perfect marriage of things that I love. Okay. That's all I have for you for today. I'm sorry that I was such a hot mess. No, I'm not sorry. I am a hot mess. Because my printer broke and it totally threw me out of whack. So, my plan is to get my printer fixed. I'm going to spend some time organizing today. I'll be stitching tonight. Tomorrow's straight stitchy day. No plans tomorrow, except to stitch. And, yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope your year's getting off to a really great start. You're getting lots of good stitching done. I'm seeing all your plans and I'm loving them. And I'm following along with you. I am going to try and get another one of these in a couple weeks. Rather than waiting an entire month. I started out on a every 2-week schedule. And I'm going back to that. So I actually put it on my calendar to get it done, because I think what was happening was I was like, I can do it, I can do it, and the next thing I knew, 4 weeks had passed. So, thanks again for stopping by and spending some time with me. I hope you have a really, really great weekend. February is right around the corner, so get your Valentine's ready, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Until then, peace.